Originally, I said I wasn't going to be doing these videos this week, but I actually decided to kind of reverse things and do mostly these videos this week and only a couple other different kinds of videos during the week. So you'll see there might not be normal, quote unquote, normal, like longer format videos like gameplays or whatever this week. But I wanted to get out these two car reviews because they've been really enjoyable, and it seems like a good content for you all to kind of talk about and whatnot. So I figure we will continue it this week, and yeah, maybe do a couple other videos this week, we'll say. But anyway, okay, so first we're continuing Star Lord. So originally, before, we did Air Supremacy and Yandu. So now we're moving on to two event cards. One is really good. The other one, I'm I'm not against, but I haven't really done much for, so we'll definitely talk about it. So let us jump over to the screen and take a look at these cards. All right, really quick, make sure you're listening to the podcast. As we're doing more of these one-on-one interview types with different people in the board game space, it'll probably be easier to listen to on the podcast. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you know whenever a new podcast show goes out. So I appreciate everyone that's already done that. Thank you very much for the support. If you're interested, also the videos like this will be up on the podcast page as well. And if you are here on YouTube and want to support this channel, consider becoming a member at 99 cents. I don't think you can do it on your phone, but if you're on the PC, you can just hit the join button down below. 99 cents a month really helps the channel, helps us grow a lot, and I really appreciate it. All right, so first card we got to talk about is Blaze of Glory. This is still in the Star-Lord hero pack. So Blaze of Glory is a leadership event, 2 cost, max 1 per round card, so you go into it once. Hero action. Each Guardian character gets +2 thwart, +2 attack for this phase. At the end of the phase, deal 1 damage to each Guardian character. Now, if you're playing well, let's do the less obvious one, I guess, at first. If you're playing a Nebula deck, a Gamora deck, a Groot deck, a Rocket deck, whatever it may be, where you're doing an ally swarm build, or at least have a decent amount of allies out there, this gets really strong, right? To be able to take your hero, and let's say you only get 3 allies out, instead of 4 or 5. I mean, basically, you're looking at, for 2 costs, you're getting 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 for 8 damage if you get the 3 allies out there. Absolutely phenomenal trade-off. And then if you can ready up on top of it somehow, even stronger, right? Even better. So it's going to be a really powerful card. Now, for Star-Lord, Star-Lord makes everyone a Guardian character that he brings in. So if you have allies that aren't typically Guardian characters, but you bring them in with Star-Lord, now all the allies that are on your character, right, now get +2, which is crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. The other way you could do this too is if you're playing with teammates, right? Because each Guardian character, if they all have Guardian traits as well, they can get really, really strong. So it's a really good card for making a final push. It's maybe a little too good, maybe a little too strong. And then they try to balance that by saying at the end of the phase, deal 1 damage to each Guardian character, which, yeah, hurts a little bit, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Again, especially if you're trying to make that final push. If I have 3 or 4 Guardian heroes on this table, and each of us can get like a couple allies out there, and Star-Lord can focus on non-Guardian allies, but make them Guardian allies, and like he's the first one to go, let's say, like the board state gets nuts, right? Like everything gets crazy then at that point. So I think it's a really fascinating card in the way that works. I think it's incredibly strong. It's one that if I'm playing leadership, I like this card's probably always going to be in there, unless I force myself not to put it in there for fun. But generally speaking, it's always going to be there because it's such a powerful card. It's such a good card. Then we have Target Practice, is a 0 cost support, still leadership skill card. Interrupt: when an ally with a weapon upgrade makes an attack, discard Target Practice. The ally gets +2 attack for that. +2 attack for that attack. So I don't do a lot of Guardian builds in leadership that has weapons attached to allies. Like I just haven't really done that kind of Voltron style thing. And even if I did, I don't like cards that just simply discard my card to get like a benefit really quick, right? Like giving them, it's a 0 for 2 attack card essentially is what it is, assuming you have certain parameters done, right? Such as a weapon upgrade on an ally. Now, it doesn't need to be a whole Guardian weapon on a Guardian ally or anything like that. It's just any weapon. And if you're doing that Voltron type build, this might make sense, especially if you can get 3 of them out there and then, discard a bunch. That would work really well. Actually, I don't know if you could really stack them like that, but I just mean in general, like being able to attack with several allies or different allies, right? Because this target practice isn't attached to that ally, it's just attached, it's just on your board state. Actually, I think about that. If you could actually stack them and deal 6 damage, would be kind of interesting. But anyway, it's an effective resource cost of 1, even though it costs 0, right? You're still losing the nah, you're not really losing the card because it's support. It's a weird card. I guess that's really what it comes down to. It's a weird card for me. Um, I don't hate it, but because I don't put a ton of weapon upgrades onto my Voltron builds, and I don't do Voltron builds that often, and I'd rather not fill my deck with target practices because I just don't like discarding cards like that to just get like a 2 attack bonus. Maybe I should check it out more often. And at least give it like a fair shot. But I really haven't done much with it, to be completely honest. But this is one of those cards, like I assume most people know Blaze of Glory and how powerful it can be. And if not, well, now you know. But I want to see if other people are using target practice. Like, are you still using it a fair amount? Or did you kind of like mess with it for a while and then it kind of like dropped off for a while? I'm interested if it's still like, in your opinion, like a viable card or not. Do me a huge favor if you enjoy this content. Scroll down, hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then leave me comments, right? Leave me comments about Blaze of Glory, if you like it, if you don't like it, and target practice especially, how you're using it, if you still use it. That's the type of cards like I'm always interested in hearing from people about, because I could see the value. I could see the value for target practice for sure. It just never seems to work out like making it into my deck. Like it's maybe a card that makes it into the quote unquote 50 card deck. And as I start trimming away the fat, like target practice just kind of falls to the side. Like I'd rather have other cards in there. And not just like have to force myself to use target practice. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and I will see you all tomorrow.